Hi, Strong Mom Society. So when I'm working with clients, a common complaint that I hear from a lot of, especially postpartum moms that are trying to get back into either more vigorous walks or jogging or running, more high intensity workouts, is that they feel a lot of pain up the front of their shins. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a combo approach here, and we're gonna call this the less shins, more scaps workout. So we're gonna target a lot of scapular activation and trying to get that back body, think of heel, calves, hamstrings up into your glutes, working and supporting you more in different movements. So you do need a yoga ball for this workout. If you've got any other kind of a surface, we could kind of work with, like, we're gonna do some hamstring lifts, things like that. So you could use a couch. When we get up to standing, you could use a free weight instead of yoga balls. If you don't have one, you don't have to skip this workout entirely. You can find some modifications for it, but this ball is gonna be really helpful. First thing that we're gonna do is warm up our thoracic spine shoulder girdle. I want you to come down to a sideline position, and if you've got a water bottle, get it out of the way. And you're just gonna prop your head into your elbow here. And I want you to just start by sweeping your arm up, around, and back. And you're gonna follow your gaze with your fingertips as you come around. And think of this as just, mobilizing the shoulder girdle, warming up the spine a little bit. We're gonna take 3 in this direction, and then we're gonna reverse and go the other way. So take that arm behind you, up, around. If you've got tight shoulders, pecs, if you sit at a computer, if you're nursing, if you're bottle feeding, if you're holding small children, or pregnancy, the growth of our boobs during pregnancy can lead to a lot of tightness in the pecs and chest. And then what I want you to do is just bring your arms in front, and you're gonna slide that arm up the body, and then take a nice little spinal twist here. Sequence back the same way you came. And then start to think about your breath too. If this feels good and you wanna extend that leg and feel a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can take it into that. We're gonna take this one more time across the chest, feeling that rotation, and then we're gonna flip up and over to the other side. So bringing yourself down, we're gonna start with that shoulder girdle, warming up and around. I've got a couch in the way. I mean, if you're working out at home, you probably have numerous items in the way. We make it work. And then you're gonna reverse, go the opposite direction. Take your eyes with your focus. Check out the dust bunnies under your couch. Give me one more. And then pancake those arms, swipe this across your chest, feel that open. If you wanna get into that little bit of a stretch through that leg, that feels really good. And then fold it back. And open, and swipe it forward, and one more time, open, and pull it back. All right, if you've got your ball, I want you to grab that, and we are gonna warm up the core and hamstrings. So first thing we're gonna do is come onto your back, and I want you to place this ball on top of your thighs. Hands are gonna go here and here. So I want you to find your scapular activation here. As you breathe in, take that release all the way down to the bottom of the pelvis. Breathe into the sides and back of the ribs. On your exhale, I want you to close and lift your pelvic floor. Find that zipper or that corset up the front of the body. Scaps pull down. And you're just gonna press this ball into the front of your thighs. On your inhale, release. Now this is option 1. Option 2 is to take this press into a little bit of a curl. If you're curling up, you wanna make sure that you can maintain that neutral core pressure. There's no coning or doming up towards the ball, that your abs are actually scooping in and down away from the ball on that lift. Inhale all the way down to the bottom of the pelvis. Exhale, pelvic floor first, hip bone to hip bone. Zip up the front of the core, press down through the scaps. You're either here or you're deepening that core activation As you come up, we're gonna take this one more time. Inhale, sides and back of the ribs. Feel that release at the bottom of the pelvis. Exhale, close and lift the pelvic floor. Wrap lower, middle, upper abs. Engage the scaps down. Either hold this here or curl yourself up. Great. You're gonna take that ball and you're gonna bring it down to the ground. Whoop. And you're gonna press your heels into it. If you don't have a ball for this one, pop your hips up, your feet up onto a couch, anything where you've got this 90-degree angle. Hands are gonna press down. And then this one is major for the hamstrings. You're just gonna press those heels down and barely lift your butt off the ground. Take an inhale into the sides and back of the ribs. Relax the pelvic floor. Exhale, I've got flexion in the feet. I'm pressing down. I'm feeling that connection to my hamstrings and my glutes here as I just lift a few inches up off the floor. You don't wanna go too high. If you go too high, this is gonna get into like back of the knees and quads, maybe even your shins, which is what we're trying to avoid. I want you to just feel that connection. Some people can just press and feel the hamstring connection into the glutes without even having to lift. So you get to make the call there. Inhale, all the way down, find full relaxation, and then exhale, close, lift, wrap, scaps down, press the heels down into the ball, and lift. Good. I want you to just bring this out of the way for a second. And you can kind of windshield wiper your knees from right to left. Work out your low back a little bit. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Good. All right. So we are going to come up to all fours, and then just for a little bit of mobilization in the spine, go ahead and bring yourself into a cat-cow position. Just inhale, look up, exhale, round. And then I want you to think of that pencil on the end of your tailbone, little circles here. Good. And then wag the tail from right to left. We are going to come down to a side lying position. Again, you're gonna set yourself up in the crook of your elbow, and I want you to extend your top leg out straight. You're gonna lift that leg to hip level, and what I want you to do is find a connection to the back of your leg. If you start to feel like this flexion gets into your shin, I want you to just let that foot dangle. And what you're gonna do is take little lifts and lowers here. So you're either doing it from this dangle foot position, or you're pressing into your pinky outside of the foot, heel up the back of the leg with a nice little flexion. You can kind of alternate between the two. You'll feel how it kind of changes the muscles that are activating here. But I want you to feel this glute med, maybe some adductors, a little bit of glute, hip, supporting muscles around the hip. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come down, give your hip a little bit of love there. I want you to point your toe up to the ceiling, and you're gonna imagine that this is a feather floating, and then flex the foot and bring it back down. As you come down, I want you to connect to your core and pelvic floor. So you're gonna inhale, float it up. Imagine that leg is weightless. Exhale, find a zipper from the inside of the knee up into the pelvic floor. Inhale up. If you are creating tension in that lower leg, you're gonna get into that shin. So I want you to make sure that that lower leg's completely relaxed. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, float that leg up. Exhale, press through the heel. Give me 2 more here. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Check in with the shoulder. Make sure you're not holding it up to your ear. Inhale up. Exhale and press. Good. Again, give that hip a little bit of love. We're gonna flip over and come down onto the other side. Set yourself up in the crook of your elbow. Extend that leg out either with a flex foot or that foot is dangling, and then you're just gonna take those little parallel pulses. Yeah, feeling this pretty deep into that hip and glute. And play with, can you get into flexion and maintain that same connection here, or does it go straight to your shin? So you have to let that foot dangle. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down, a little bit of love. We're gonna take that lift and lower. So you're gonna point your foot, float it up. That's your feather. Exhale, zipper, inner thigh to pelvic floor, core to come down. The scap is engaged. Exhale. Inhale, float it up. That leg weighs nothing, or at least imagine that it doesn't. Flex the foot. Find that connection as you press down. Inhale, float. Exhale, press. Inhale, float. Exhale, press. Float it up and press it down. We're gonna take one more, float it up and press it down. Good. Bring that hip down. Give it a little bit of love. We're gonna get ourselves all the way up to standing, and we are gonna grab that yoga ball. If you don't have a ball, you're gonna grab yourself a free weight, just one, and you can hold it horizontally. We are gonna take a few squats here. So lots of scapular activation with this ball or a weight. As you go in and out of your squat, most important thing is to make sure that those sits bones are traveling behind you, that you're not just squatting down into your calves, your quads. We're trying to activate up the back of the leg and get out of the front of the leg. So if you feel like you're quad heavy or you're shin heavy, drop the ball and then just take, a few hinges forward and back. Otherwise, you are gonna squat down, touch the ball to the floor. This almost feels like a big hamstring activation because it's kind of like a deadlift. So you're gonna squat, and then as you come up, find that anchor for your scaps. Imagine that your arms start here in the mid-center of your back, and bring the arms up overhead. So you're gonna press and lift as you come up and down. And if you're really paying attention to your back body, you're gonna feel this from your calves up into your hamstrings, your glutes, and your scaps. We're focusing on all that activation into the back body, taking it out of the front body. Give me 3 more here. 3, and 2, and last one. Arms are up, shoulders are out of the ear. We're gonna take this into a lateral lunge. So lunge out on your right foot, find a little bit of rotation in that spine. The ball's gonna come down and tap the floor in front of your right toes. I'm feeling this rotation from my oblique, so side abs. So I'm getting to that by lifting the pelvic floor, finding that lower ab activation, and then scaps like crazy to tap back up and bring those arms up overhead. Scaps and tap. I'm also looking for my right glute, the leg that you're lunging into. Push in and out of that heel. Really focusing again on that back body connection from heel all the way up the calves, hamstrings, back of the legs, glutes, and scaps. One more on this side. And I've got a good bit of oblique on there too. We're gonna go to the other side. Left lunge, looking for your left glute, connecting to your left heel. Little bit of rotation through the pelvic floor. Those obliques are firing. Scaps engaged. Bring them up overhead. Connect to your breath. Press in and out of that heel that you're lunging in and out of. Really try to press those shoulders down out of your ears. Imagine that your arms start in the center of your back. We're gonna take 3 more here. 3, tap. Inhale. Exhale, tap. And last one. And tap. Good. All right, I'm gonna grab myself a quick sip of water. You should do the same. And then I want you to come into your standing hinge position. Put your hands on your sits bones, and I want you to just bend and extend the knees. I want you to visualize those sits bones going out and back and in and under. Here, we're focusing again on that connection from heels, hamstrings, glutes, and scaps as you bend and as you extend. And what I want you to do is shift your weight into an 80-20 weight distribution. So I'm gonna put 80% of my weight in my right foot, 20% in my left, and I'm gonna take that same hinge, but you're gonna feel a lot more activation now on the right side. You might even feel it like deep into this glute med area. Your right hip has to do a ton of stabilization, And I want you to feel this up the back body. We're gonna take one more on this side. Stay connected to that low, deep diaphragmatic breathing, and then shift 80-20 into the other leg. 80% of my weight's in my left foot, 20% in the right. Sits bones go out and back, and in and under. Out and back, and in and under. Good. Find connection from heel, calves, hamstrings, glutes, and scaps. Let's take 4 more here. 4. You've got out and back with that sits bone, in and under. Last 2. And last 1. Good. Shake it out. Okay, one more exercise for your calves. If you want, you can set yourself up so you're touching a wall. You could do this pressing into a wall. I want you to stand up on your toes. So ground all 10 toes down into the floor, and I want you to rise straight up. From here, you're gonna have to connect to your pelvic floor, lower abdominals, scaps. Make sure those ribs are on top of your hips. If your ribs are splaying open, it's gonna be a lot harder to balance. So drop that tailbone, make sure everything is stacked. And then from here, you're just gonna drop the heels and rise. Drop and rise. As you do this, I want you to connect to the outside, those outer rotators in your glutes. So almost like if you were standing in a ballet first position and you feel how those rotators work, the glutes you squeeze your butt on, you feel that connection right here. I want you to find that connection in parallel as you lift and lower and strengthen those calves. A lot of the problem with shin pain comes from just weak or not weak. I don't want to say weak. These muscles are strong. Your brain is just not telling them to fire in the right moves. So what we're doing now is training all of this to work as we lift and lower, instead of lifting and gripping up through our calves and our quads. Give me 2 more of those. Drop the heels down. And 1 more. Good. And then I want you to just take a quick calf stretch. 1 leg forward, 1 leg back. Breathe into this. You can close your eyes. Maybe see if you can send that air down to relax the pelvic floor. And then other leg back. Press into it. If you are planning to get back to fast walking, running, jogging, treadmill, elliptical, anything like that, make sure you take the time to strengthen your calves. And when these start to feel really strong, then you can start to do them on 1 leg, because you want to strengthen 1 leg mechanics in particular to get back to those exercises. Okay, let me know how you did. Drop me a DM, leave a message in the comments, and I'll see you guys really soon.